What the heck is up, folks? Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Natalie. If you're interested in listening to me talk about things and also put makeup on my face, then you've come to the right place. This is a new series I'm starting called Chicken Chats, where I drink my coffee out of the mug that I love oh so very much, and I talk to you about things ranging from my life to missing persons cases to mental health to pretty much anything that I feel like talking about that day. So I'm going to go ahead and christen this chicken chat by taking a sip of my incredibly hot coffee. And let's get right into it. So lately, I'm sorry to say this for those of you who are into really intense full face of makeup. Lately, I've been into the no foundation look. I'm really sorry. So I'm just gonna start by going in with my, what is this? The Maybelline New York Fit Me Concealer in the color 15 Fair. And I'm just gonna apply this underneath my eyeballs. My skin's been a lot clearer lately, which makes me very happy. So I have just been taking this really lightly, just like down my nose, because I get some strange redness there, and then like in the middle of my face, just to sort of balance it out so that way my under eyes aren't super light, and then everything else is just this sort of like dull Natalie skin color. Gonna blend this in with my RealTechniques beauty sponge. Anyways, so on Sunday I'm leaving for a new job. Well, it's not really a new job. I suppose I've worked there before, but the job is new to me. I'm working as a senior resident assistant at a summer camp. I am really excited to go. The hard part about Get Ready With Me's is that, like, if you're not saying something interesting and you're talking at the same time as you're doing your makeup, it's really hard to edit out the boring stuff, because like if you're talking about something that's boring for a really extended period of time, you've already done, I don't know, 15% of your makeup. So if you want to edit that out, you can't just cut out the audio. You have to also cut out all the parts of you doing your makeup. So it's basically make or break. It's like either you're interesting and you get to keep the content of you also doing your makeup, or you say a bunch of boring shit and you have a shitty video. This might be the latter. Lately, I've been watching a lot of investigation discovery, which I think I may have mentioned in my previous video. I've been thinking a lot about serial killers, which I know is very like popular in the media right now, but I'm getting my bachelor's in psychology with a focus on clinical work. And lately I've been talking with my really good friend about psychopathy and like what it means to be a quote unquote psychopath. What am I doing? I'm gonna take this angled contour brush from BH Cosmetics. I bought these 3 or 4 years ago, maybe longer. And so the set no longer includes all of the exact brushes. I think there's a difference between like 3 or 4 brushes, but for the most part, it's still the same set, and I'll link that in the description box down below. But I'm gonna go ahead and take the NYX blush in the color Taupe, which is an old Nikkie Tutorials favorite. I've already mentioned that, but God, do I love her. And I'm just gonna take this on the tip of the brush and gently put that in the hollows of my cheekbones. But anyways, as I was saying, there was a scientist on this particular show I was watching yesterday with my mom. I think it was like The Making of Evil or something, but they were trying to talk about like what makes a serial killer a serial killer. And the scientist, or this clinical psychiatrist, went on screen and was basically saying that certain operations in the frontal lobe could be implicated in the making of a serial killer. But I think that that's a really weak argument, because the big problem in psychology, and if you're interested in learning more about this, you could read the book What is Mental Illness? I forget who the author is, but I'll also link that in the description. There's also a lot of really good essays on X is a gene for Y and the problems with that one-to-one mapping of certain things like mental illness. It's really difficult to say, because we have found a relationship between serial killers and frontal lobe processing, to claim that issues in the frontal lobe causes people to become serial killers is really unfounded, because first of all, there's not damage in all of the same areas necessarily, like cross serial killer, I guess, if we're gonna go ahead and try and use that terminology. And then also, people who have frontal lobe damage are not always serial killers. But anyways, this guy was trying to say that the frontal lobe may be implicated in behaviors of serial killers and murderers. While I think that there is some validity to that, you can't draw like a one-to-one like that. It's just really, really complicated. It was a cool show nonetheless, because they talked about a lot of other really interesting things. Right, so contour is done. Moving on to bronzer. I'm gonna go ahead and take my e.l.f. bronzing and blush palette in the color St. Lucia, and it looks like this. The blush color I think is really awful. There's these like really sparkly specks in it that are A, not flattering, and be chunky and honestly, in my opinion, just kind of disgusting. But the bronzer is really nice. It's not the smoothest. It's a little bit chalky, but if we're talking about the price, I think this is $4. So this was a nice compromise. My skin has been cooperating with me really well lately, which makes me so happy because when I got back from Sweden, I think my body was not attuned to the sugars and the preservatives that they put in like candies and sodas. And so when I got back, I had this like awful breakout like all around my chin and on my cheeks. Regardless, my skin has calmed down a lot and I'm very pleased. Oh, also for those of you who are curious, I got this at Walmart. It's kind of a bitchin' mug and Walmart gets a bad rap. So shit's so cheap and they'll price match any of your produce. I'm not sponsored by Walmart, but holy shit, it would be nice if they sponsored me because I'm looking for a new futon for my dorm room next year and they're really expensive and I can't afford a $160 futon. So Walmart, sponsor me because I will talk you up to these followers. I'm a loyal supporter of Walmart. Next, I'm gonna go in with some blush and where in God's name? Okay, so next I'm gonna go in with some blush and this is the blush from LA Colors in the color Toast. And you can get this from the dollar store. My mom sent this to me along with some other products and a foundation that didn't match me at all when I was in college, just as like a care package thing, because I'm not big on like snacks. I prefer Halloween decorations or $1 store makeup. So she sent this to me and I thought I wasn't gonna like it because if you can see, it's kind of chunky with like those glitters in the same way that that other blush is in the e.l.f. palette. And so I thought it was gonna be really awful, but it's actually this like nice glow that you get. It's so flattering. So let's just do it. This is around the time of the year when I get really antsy and I start thinking about what I'm gonna be for Halloween. And I think finally I'm gonna do this costume that I've wanted to do for like 5 years. It's my senior year in college and I was thinking about it and I was like, ah, shit, like if I do this costume, it's gonna be kind of high maintenance. Then I realized like, fuck it, it's Halloween. Ugh, that was my dad sneezing. There it is again. Can you guys hear that? That's horrifying. Anyways, what the hell was I saying? Then I was chatting with a friend of mine and I was like, why do I even care? Like, the only thing I care about on like God's green earth is Halloween. To get to the point, the costume I'm gonna do this year is Pinhead from Hellraiser. And there's a really, really sick tutorial that I will also link in the description box from a YouTuber whose name I can't remember, Courtney Little. She is so talented and so creative. I was trying to find a tutorial that had the pins in a way that was logical, that you could move around and like talk to people. And she had such a good tutorial and that is the one that I'm gonna be following like almost through and through. So as soon as I get my paycheck from this job this summer, I'm gonna start buying stuff for this costume. I think Courtney is a frickin' genius. If you wanna share with me below what you're gonna be dressing up as for Halloween, which I don't expect anyone to know because people aren't a psycho like me and start planning in, what is it? June. All right, so next I'm going to take my Milani Brow Fix in the color Light, I'm pretty sure, but it's this one. And I'm going to use this to fill in my eyebrows. I take the lighter color through the front and through the whole brow, and then I go in with the darker color just in the tail to sort of like sharpen up that tail. One of my best friends just messaged me the other day. It was yesterday. I recently learned that I'm using the phrase the other day wrong. I use it really generously. Like I will say the other day to refer to something that happened 2 years ago because my parents are immigrants and so there's some like American terminology that I still don't know super well. So when I heard people saying the other day, I thought like, oh, that's so great. Like it's an arbitrary amount of time that you can refer to. And so I started just saying the other day to refer to things that had happened like 3 years ago or 2 days ago. But then I recently had a friend who told me like, I don't think you're using that right. Like I'm pretty sure that the maximum amount of time you can use for the other day is like 2 weeks, give or take. And I was like, holy shit, I've been saying the other day to refer to things that had happened eons ago. Anyways, so a friend of mine messaged me yesterday to say that she wanted me to help her with her eyebrows. And I have done my friend's eyebrows before, my friend Gilbert, I've done his eyebrows before, and not to toot my own horn, but toot, they looked incredible. And so I was really excited when she messaged me. I was like, I'm gonna go out and like buy you all the products that you need, and then I'm gonna sit down with you and like tweeze your eyebrows and show you how to do it so that way like you can do it on your own and you can just keep the stuff. I'm actually really looking forward to that. Something that I don't get to do enough, probably because I'm not like a freelance makeup artist or anything, is I love doing makeup on other people. I love like making people feel pretty, especially with like some of my friends who aren't like super into makeup or whatever. Like I love it as a teaching process. Like I love being able to show them how to do something that they haven't done before or see them improve. Wow, that eyebrow is not looking good. Here I am like talking a big game and then I like fuck up my own eyebrow. I think it's because I need to tweeze it. It's getting kind of gnarly in the tail. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take my Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel, which doesn't even have the logo on it anymore because I've used it so much that I wiped it off. And I definitely need a new one, but I'm broke. I'm flat broke. If anyone's curious about my earrings, which I feel it strange to assume that anyone would be interested in my earrings, I didn't actually buy them as earrings. I bought these 2 charms from Michael's, the craft store. I removed this little top bit from the charm because that's where you're supposed to thread through the chain, and then I bought these little individual earring clasps and I just opened up the top bit of this one, like the tiny little circle, and then I put in the little earring clasp and I made little earrings. Next I'm gonna highlight using my e.l.f. small tapered brush, and I think this is $1 at Target. They may have ramped up the price because e.l.f. has been doing it now lately. I'm actually gonna go ahead and use this eyeshadow from the Morphe 35O palette to highlight. Let's see if I can show you that. It's this one right here, and they don't have names, so just, yeah, it's the second one from the top left. If you're a deeper skin tone, just don't use this. It's gonna look like shit. I'm trying to see if there's any other colors that would be nice for a darker skin tone. Maybe this one? Perhaps? And dot it on my nose. I know some people really hate this trend and they're like, why are people putting highlight on the tip of their nose? But you know what? Let me tell you, when you have a bird nose like I do and you want to look cute from straight on, you put a fucking highlight in the center of your nose so that way when people are looking at you like this, they're like, oh, what a cute little button nose she has. You ever annoy yourself when you do your makeup? Like you find yourself doing really outlandish things. What was I doing? Oh, I'm gonna go super easy on my eyes today and I'm just gonna curl my lashes and put some mascara on because I wanna go big on the lips. I've been really into that look lately. I've been seeing stuff on Instagram where people have like this beautiful glowy skin and they like don't have a lot of makeup on their eyes and they have like a bitchin' dark lip, which I'm really into. So we're just gonna go ahead and do that today because I wanna be cool like everyone else and curl these bad boys. What the fuck? It's a dog. I'm gonna go ahead and move on and use my Maybelline, the Colossal Volume Express Waterproof Cat Eyes. You guys, The Bachelorette's on tonight. First of all, I just want to say Becca's so much more interesting in interviews than she is on camera. Like, I don't know what the editors were trying to do in this season, but they really didn't do her any favors because she seemed boring as balls. I hate seasons like this because you already know who she's gonna choose. Okay, so I'm not even saying this as like a spoiler because I actually don't know. I don't like to spoil things for myself on The Bachelorette or The Bachelor. So I don't actually know this for a fact, but I think it's very apparent that Becca likes Garrett. I think she's going to choose Garrett, and I think that a lot of the show is just gonna be like a bunch of other noise that's happening with the other guys. Don't tell me if that's true or not. I really don't want spoilers, and if I'm wrong, I don't wanna know that I'm wrong, so please don't ruin it for me in the comments. I just realized that I forgot to powder my under eyes, but they're not creasing or anything, so I think I might just leave them alone. Next, I'm going to take an incredibly dark color, and you're gonna be surprised by the brand of this liquid lipstick. It's the NARS Power Matte Lip Pigment in the color London Calling. It looks like this, and it's so cute. This is maybe the most expensive high-end thing that I own. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this. The mirror that I keep behind my camera totally fell. I'm really upset that the mirror that I have behind my phone fell. I don't have like a viewfinder or anything, so literally I have a round mirror just like the one I have here taped to the window behind my phone camera. This is what it's like to be an amateur YouTuber. Those of you who have been where I've been know exactly what I'm talking about. I think I just saw a seagull. That's literally impossible. I live in the desert. Thank you guys so much for watching my chicken chats. I hope you found this video entertaining or interesting, or you just like listening to me talk about things. I don't know. If there was anything that you liked in this video that you thought was like cool or like worth giving me a thumbs up, definitely give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you like my content. I mean, with 2 videos, you can't really know what my content is, but it's gonna be a lot of stuff like this. Ring the bell if you wanna see more and you wanna know when I'm posting things, and I really hope that I see you in my next video. Anyways, you guys have a wonderful week. It's only Monday. And I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And I will see you in my next video.